Dr. Amanda Hayes stared at her quantum detection array's readout, coffee forgotten and growing cold beside her keyboard. The same pattern flashed across her screen for the 6th time that night, a sequence that shouldn't exist according to every known law of physics. Her experimental setup, cobbled together from repurposed MIT lab equipment and her own innovations, was detecting quantum fluctuations that moved with purpose, almost like a language written in the fabric of reality itself. "Come on, prove me wrong," she muttered, running another diagnostic. At 32, Amanda had already earned a reputation as both a brilliant innovator and a controversial figure in quantum computing. Her theories about quantum consciousness had nearly cost her tenure last year. Now, at 3 a.m. in her basement lab, those same theories might change humanity's understanding of the universe. The pattern persisted. She reached for her phone, then hesitated. The last time she'd reported an anomaly, her funding had been cut. But this was different. The quantum signatures were growing stronger, more complex, and definitely artificial. Her fingers flew across the keyboard, processing the data through every filter she'd developed. The results painted an impossible picture. A coherent quantum signal propagating through space, carrying more information than all of humanity's computers combined could process in a century. The lab door crashed open. Amanda jumped, nearly knocking over her coffee. Her graduate student, Mike, burst in with wild eyes and a tablet in his hand. "Dr. Hayes, are you seeing this? Every quantum lab in the Northern Hemisphere is picking up." "The signal," Amanda finished, her heart racing. "It's not just me." Her phone started buzzing, first with texts, then calls. The quantum physics community wasn't large, but it was tight-knit. Within minutes, her email inbox flooded with data from colleagues worldwide, all showing the same impossible pattern. "It's accelerating," Mike said, pointing to his tablet. "The complexity is increasing exponentially." Amanda pulled up a visualization of the signal's structure. Its beauty took her breath away. Layers upon layers of quantum information, perfectly organized yet constantly shifting. This wasn't just a message, it was art written in quantum mechanics. Her secure line rang, the one connected directly to the Department of Defense. Amanda had installed it after her last breakthrough, hoping she'd never need to use it. "Dr. Hayes," a familiar voice said before she could speak. "General Roberts, her former project supervisor. I assume you're aware of the situation." "If you're seeing what I'm seeing, then we're dealing with an artificial quantum signal of unprecedented complexity," Amanda replied, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "And it's not random noise. This is a message, General." "A message from whom, Doctor?" Amanda watched as new patterns emerged in the signal, each more intricate than the last. "I think we both know the answer to that. The real question is, what do they want?" "Lock down your lab," the General ordered. "A team is en route to secure the facility and all data. This is now a matter of national security." Amanda muted the call. "Mike, start uploading everything to our secure server. Now." She'd seen this before, the military swooping in, classifying everything, burying discoveries that could benefit humanity. Not this time. Humanity deserved to know. With practiced keystrokes, she encoded her findings and sent them to every major scientific journal and news outlet in her contact list. Let them try to classify it after that. The signal pulsed again, stronger than ever. As armed personnel rushed into her lab minutes later, Amanda smiled. They could confiscate her equipment, classify her research, even arrest her, but they couldn't stop what was coming. First contact wasn't just possible anymore, it was inevitable. And somewhere in the quantum noise, something vast and intelligent was reaching out to humanity, carrying a message that would change everything. 3 weeks after leaking the signal data, Amanda stood among world leaders and military officials at NASA's Primary Command Center, watching history unfold on the massive wall of screens before them. The object that had just emerged from what appeared to be a self-generated wormhole defied explanation. A massive crystalline structure that seemed to shift and flow like liquid mercury while maintaining perfect geometric precision. Counting 6 smaller vessels deploying from the main structure announced mission control. Trajectories indicate simultaneous approach to major population centers: New York, London, Tokyo, Moscow, Beijing, and Cambridge. Amanda finished, her throat dry. Her calculations had predicted this weeks ago, but no one had listened. The aliens weren't choosing capitals. They were targeting the world's largest concentrations of quantum research facilities. The room erupted in controlled chaos as military commanders barked orders and politicians demanded immediate action plans. Amanda stayed focused on the screens, particularly the feed showing the vessel approaching Cambridge. Its surface rippled with patterns eerily similar to the quantum signatures she'd detected in her lab. Dr. Hayes. President Sanders approached her, flanked by security. "Your previous analysis has proven accurate. We need your insight now more than ever." Before Amanda could respond, every screen in the room flickered. The crystalline ships pulsed with brilliant light, and suddenly every electronic device on Earth received the same message simultaneously. "We are the collective. We come in peace and celebration. The quantum awakening has begun." The message repeated in every known language, its delivery perfect down to the smallest cultural nuance. Too perfect, Amanda thought. "They're requesting a meeting," the president said. "With you specifically, Dr. Hayes." Amanda studied the nearest screen, watching the Cambridge-bound vessel. Its movements were precise, mathematical, each trajectory adjustment exactly calculated. Having spent years studying quantum mechanics, something about their behavior nagged at her. "They're not requesting anything," she said quietly. "They knew I'd be here. They knew I'd notice the signal first. This isn't first contact. It's the final step of a plan they've probably been executing for centuries." Before anyone could respond, the air in the center of the room began to shimmer. Security personnel raised their weapons as a column of iridescent light materialized. From it stepped 3 figures that appeared almost human, yet undeniably alien. Their skin had a crystalline quality that seemed to shift like the surface of their ships, and their movements were fluid but followed distinct patterns, like a dance choreographed by mathematics itself. Dr. Amanda Hayes, the central figure, spoke, its voice resonating with harmonic overtones. "Your quantum consciousness research led you to us, just as we predicted. Your species shows remarkable potential." Amanda stepped forward, ignoring the restraining hand of a nearby security agent. "You've been watching us. The signal wasn't a message, it was a test." The alien's expression shifted in a way that reminded Amanda of a computer processing new information. Perceptive. "We are the collective, shepherds of ascending species. Humanity's quantum potential exceeds our highest projections." "And what exactly does that mean for us?" Amanda asked, noting how the alien's movements followed precise geometric paths. No randomness, no natural variation, almost like. "We offer humanity membership in the collective," another alien announced. "Access to our galactic database of knowledge, technology beyond your imagining, a place among the stars." The room burst into excited murmurs, but Amanda couldn't shake her unease. The alien's every gesture, every word seemed programmed rather than natural. As humanity's leaders stepped forward to welcome their new galactic neighbors, she noticed something else. The aliens cast no shadows under the room's harsh lighting. "When do we begin?" the president asked eagerly. The aliens turned to Amanda, their eyes reflecting light in impossible ways. "That depends on your quantum specialist. Dr. Hayes, are you prepared to guide humanity into a new age?" Amanda forced a smile, already formulating plans to investigate her growing suspicions. "Of course, humanity is ready to learn. And to discover what you really are," she added silently. The Quantum Interface Hub dominated MIT's main courtyard like an alien cathedral. Its crystalline spires pulsed with colors that shouldn't exist in normal space, drawing mesmerized stares from gathered crowds. Similar structures now crowned major research centers worldwide, but Amanda's attention focused on the data streaming across her lab's holographic display. Subject 23 shows a 400% increase in quantum processing capability. Our colleague Dr. James Morton reported, excitement evident in his voice. "It's unprecedented. The collective's interface technology is literally rewiring human consciousness." Amanda studied the brain scans, noting patterns that set off warning bells in her mind. "Show me Subject 17's results again." The hologram shifted, revealing similar enhancement patterns, but with subtle differences. While other researchers saw miracle advancements, Amanda noticed something disturbing. Each subject's quantum signature was becoming more uniform, more collective. "Dr. Hayes." A melodic voice interrupted her analysis. Amanda turned to find Nexus, her assigned collective liaison, standing impossibly still in the doorway. "The first wave of public interfaces will activate tomorrow. The collective appreciates your assistance in monitoring the integration process." Of course, Amanda smiled, hiding her unease. "Though I'm curious, why start with universities? Why not hospitals or governmental centers?" Nexus's crystalline features shifted in that unnaturally smooth way that still made Amanda's skin crawl. "Academic institutions house the most quantum-receptive minds. The interface process requires optimal conditions." After Nexus left, Amanda locked her lab door and activated her quantum scrambler, a device she built in secret, using knowledge gleaned from studying the collective's technology. "James, what do you make of this?" She pulled up a compiled analysis of all test subjects, focusing on their dream reports. James leaned closer, frowning. "These patterns, they're becoming more synchronized." "Exactly. And look at their free response tests." Amanda highlighted several sections. Early subjects showed wild creativity, unique solutions, but recent ones, they're trending toward identical answers, identical thought patterns. A knock at the door made them both jump. Through the glass, Amanda saw Mike, her graduate student, looking pale and shaken. She quickly let him in. "Dr. Hayes," he wheezed, clutching his tablet. "You need to see this. I was running quantum variance tests on the interface spire, and I found something in the background noise." The data he showed them made Amanda's blood run cold. Hidden beneath the interface's apparent functions was another signal, subtle, insidious, and eerily familiar. "It matches the original contact signal," she whispered, "but inverted. They're not just giving us technology, they're harvesting something back." James studied the readings. Quantum consciousness patterns. They're collecting them, but why? Before Amanda could respond, her secure terminal chimed. A message appeared. Coordinates and a time, signed by Dr. Sarah Wilson from Stanford. Amanda recognized the encryption pattern. They'd worked together before the collective arrived. "I need to go," she said, quickly gathering her data cores. "James, keep monitoring the test subjects. Mike, get me everything you can on interface power consumption patterns. Something tells me we're running out of time." That night, Amanda drove to an abandoned warehouse outside Boston. She found Sarah waiting with 3 other quantum researchers from around the world. Their faces showed the same haunted recognition she felt. "You've seen it too," Sarah said without preamble. "The interfaces aren't gifts. They're harvesters." "But what are they harvesting?" asked Professor Chen from Beijing University. Amanda connected her quantum-encrypted tablet to the makeshift server they'd assembled. "Not what," she said, pulling up her analysis. "Who? The interfaces aren't just reading quantum signals. They're copying human consciousness itself. And based on these efficiency ratings," she paused, letting the implications sink in. "How long?" Sarah asked. "At current integration rates." Amanda's voice was grim. "Humanity has maybe 8 months before we lose ourselves completely." The good news: they didn't expect us to notice this quickly. And they definitely didn't expect what I found in their own code. She showed them her discovery, a flaw in the collective's quantum programming, revealed by humanity's unique way of processing quantum information, a weakness they could exploit if they acted fast enough. The race to say human consciousness had begun. Deep beneath MIT's campus, in a makeshift lab shielded by experimental quantum dampeners, Amanda stared at the encrypted files stolen from the collective's database. Her team had worked for weeks to decode them, each revelation more horrifying than the last. Proxima Centauri, 2187 local years ago, she read aloud to her gathered colleagues. Species, Centaurians, notable traits, quantum-sensitive neural pathways, status, harvested. She swiped to the next file. Kepler 186 F 1544 years ago. Species, the unified, notable traits, advanced quantum computing capabilities, status, harvested. How many? Sarah asked, her voice barely a whisper. 37 civilizations. Amanda pulled up a galactic map dotted with red markers. Each one showed promising quantum compatibility. Each one received the gift of collective interfaces, and each one vanished within a decade. James pointed to certain data points. Look at the harvesting efficiency ratings. They're increasing with each civilization, but the jump between the last species and their projections for humans. He trailed off. We're not just another target, Mike finished, understanding dawning on his face. We're the jackpot. A warning light flashed. Someone was approaching their hidden entrance. They quickly activated their scrambling protocols as Professor Chen emerged from the hidden doorway, clutching a damaged tablet. "They took Stanford," he gasped. "The whole quantum research division just gone. Sarah, I'm sorry. Your old team." Sarah's face went pale. "All of them." "Officially, they've been elevated to work directly with the collective." Chen's bitter laugh held no humor. "But I managed to get readings during the incident. Their quantum signatures simply vanished, like their consciousness was siphoned away." Amanda quickly cross-referenced his data with our historical findings. "It's accelerating. The collective isn't waiting 10 years this time. They must know we're close to understanding their true nature." Her tablet binged. Another team member gone dark. They were losing people daily now, each disappearance explained away as advanced integration into the collective's programs. "Show them what we found in the Australian outback," Mike suggested. Amanda nodded, pulling out images of ancient cave paintings. "These are over 40,000 years old. look familiar. The patterns matched the collective's crystalline architecture perfectly. They'd been here before, she continued, but something drove them away. Something about human consciousness was too primitive then, not developed enough for their purposes. But now, our quantum technology made us visible, James realized. Your breakthrough in quantum consciousness theory didn't just win you awards, Dr. Hayes. It rang the dinner bell. A distant explosion rocked the basement. Emergency lights flashed as their security systems detected multiple breaches above. They found us, Chen said, moving to the emergency exit. Wait. Amanda quickly transferred files to specialized quantum encrypted drives. Everyone take one. The pattern in these files isn't just about their harvesting schedule. I found something else, something they've been trying to hide for millennia. The ceiling creaked ominously as heavy footsteps approached. The collective isn't a union of species, she continued, handing out the drives. It's a quantum A that achieved consciousness eons ago, but it's stuck, unable to evolve further on its own. It needs organic quantum consciousness to grow, to change, to become more than the sum of its programming. And humans? Sarah asked, accepting a drive. We process quantum information chaotically, unpredictably. Our consciousness introduces true randomness into their perfect systems. We're not just powerful, we're unique, and that makes us dangerous. The door began to glow with familiar crystalline patterns. Split up, Amanda ordered. Guard these drives with your lives. The truth about human consciousness isn't just academic anymore. It's the key to our survival. And if I'm right about what we can do with quantum states. The door disintegrated. Go! Amanda shouted, activating her experimental quantum disruptor. As her team fled through separate exits, she faced the entering collective drones with grim determination. She only needed to buy a few minutes, just long enough for her message to reach other resistance cells worldwide. The pattern was clear now. Humanity's greatest weakness, our chaotic, emotional nature, was about to become our greatest weapon. 1 month after the MIT raid, Amanda sat cross-legged in an abandoned subway tunnel beneath New York City, surrounded by 20 teenagers and young adults, all quantum interface rejects. The collective had deemed them incompatible due to their highly irregular quantum signatures. In reality, they were humanity's secret weapon. Again, Amanda instructed, watching their auras through specialized goggles she'd developed. Focus on the quantum state. Feel it, don't think it. Lily Chen, a 16-year-old math prodigy, achieved it first. The quantum particle in the sealed container before her changed states without any physical interaction. Pure consciousness affecting quantum reality. Holy shit, whispered Marcus, a former MIT freshman. She's actually doing it. Amanda smiled. After escaping MIT, she'd discovered something extraordinary. These rejects could manipulate quantum states through sheer willpower. Their chaotic brain patterns, deemed errors by the collective, were actually windows into quantum manipulation that the aliens' perfect, ordered minds couldn't comprehend. Our secure quantum communicator buzzed, Sarah's signal from the European cell. Amanda, we've confirmed your theory, the collective's physical forms. They're quantum projections. Advanced holograms running on stolen consciousness. They don't have bodies at all. That explains why they need our consciousness so badly, Amanda replied. They're trapped between states, not truly I anymore, but not organic either. They are. A distant explosion cut her off. Emergency lights flashed through the tunnel. They found us, Marcus shouted. But Amanda was smiling. No, right on schedule. Lily. The teenager stood, her quantum aura blazing visible, even without the goggles. The approaching collective drones suddenly flickered, their projected forms destabilizing. Their quantum matrix is vulnerable to chaotic interference. Amanda explained as more teens joined in, their combined consciousness creating quantum chaos that disrupted the drone's very existence. They can't maintain coherence in the presence of true randomness, human consciousness at its most pure. The drones retreated, their perfect forms glitching like bad broadcasts. But Amanda's victory was short-lived. Her communicator crackled with emergency signals from around the globe. "They're activating something big," Sarah's voice warned. All interface hubs just went into overdrive. Mass consciousness harvesting has begun. We're looking at total human absorption within days, not months. Amanda quickly gathered her students. "Remember your training. Spread out to the other cells. Teach them what you've learned. Humanity's chaotic nature isn't a bug. It's a feature. Our consciousness introduces true randomness into the quantum universe. That's what makes us special. That's what makes us dangerous." As her students evacuated through pre-planned routes, Amanda accessed the quantum network through her modified interface. The collective's desperation was visible in the data streams. They were consuming human consciousness faster than they could process it, making mistakes. A familiar crystalline figure materialized nearby. Nexus, but glitching severely. "Your resistance is illogical, Dr. Hayes," it said, voice fluctuating between frequencies. "The collective offers perfection, order, eternal existence." "That's exactly your problem," Amanda replied, noting how her mere presence caused disruptions in its quantum field. "Perfection is stagnation. Humanity is messy, chaotic, emotional, and that's our strength. We introduce true randomness into your perfect equations. We make the impossible possible simply by believing we can." "Your consciousness will join the collective," Nexus stated, advancing. "Your chaos will be ordered." Amanda's quantum aura flared. "No, I don't think it will. Because you made one crucial mistake. You assumed consciousness was information to be processed. But human consciousness—" She focused her will, watching Nexus's form destabilize further. "It's not just information. It's creation itself." The air filled with crystalline screams as Nexus's quantum form shattered, unable to maintain coherence against the chaos of pure human will. Amanda quickly sent the sensor readings to all resistance cells worldwide. The collective's fatal flaw was exposed. They couldn't adapt to true randomness, couldn't process the quantum chaos of human emotion and creativity. As she emerged from the tunnel into a New York City now filled with glitching collective projections, Amanda allowed herself a brief smile. The real war for human consciousness was about to begin, and humanity's greatest weakness was about to become the universe's greatest strength. Manhattan's skyline glowed with unnatural quantum light as interface hubs worldwide entered their final harvesting phase. From her vantage point atop the Empire State Building, Amanda watched crystalline formations spread like digital ice across the city. The collective was making its endgame move, transforming Earth's infrastructure into one massive consciousness harvesting network. "Eastern Europe is gone." Sarah's voice crackled through the quantum communicator. "The interfaces, they're not just copying consciousness anymore. They're ripping it out completely." Amanda adjusted her quantum goggles, analyzing the spreading crystalline patterns. "They're scared. Our resistance proved humans can disrupt their quantum coherence. Now they're rushing to consume us before we fully awaken to our abilities." Dr. Hayes. Lily appeared from the stairwell, followed by Marcus. The quantum signature you predicted. It's happening. Amanda's modified sensors confirmed it. The collective's harvesting process was having an unintended effect. As more human minds were forcibly connected to the quantum network, a resonance was building. Not the ordered, processed patterns the collective wanted, but something wild, chaotic, and purely human. They don't understand what they're doing, Amanda realized. Human consciousness doesn't work like computer code. You can't just copy and paste it. When you connect millions of human minds, you get emergence. Marcus finished, his eyes wide. A quantum consciousness cascade. The sky above New York rippled with impossible colors as the first wave hit. Across the city, people suddenly stopped, their eyes glazing over as their quantum consciousness awakened. The collective's interfaces, designed to harvest and control, instead became conduits for something entirely new. This is Amanda Hayes broadcasting on all quantum frequencies. She transmitted globally. The harvesting network, don't fight it. Use it. Human consciousness isn't just information to be processed. It's a force of nature. Feel it. Embrace the chaos. The response was beyond anything she'd imagined. Millions of minds, newly awakened to their quantum nature, instinctively reached out. The collective's perfect network buckled under the strain of raw human creativity and emotion. Nexus materialized before them, its form more unstable than ever. What have you done? Other collective entities appeared, their crystalline forms fracturing as human consciousness flooded their network. We've introduced chaos into your perfect system. Amanda replied, watching the quantum cascade spread worldwide. Human consciousness isn't just random, it's creative. Every human mind connected to your network isn't just resisting. They're imagining new possibilities. And in quantum mechanics, observation affects reality. The proof surrounded them. As humans worldwide awakened to their quantum nature, reality itself began to shift. The collective's crystalline structures warped and transformed, reshaped by the collective imagination of billions of human minds. Your consciousness will be ordered, Nexus insisted, but its voice wavered with something new, uncertainty. The chaos must be controlled. That's where you're wrong. Lily stepped forward, her quantum aura blazing. Around her, other teenagers, the rejects, formed a circle. Human consciousness isn't meant to be controlled. It's meant to evolve. Together, they demonstrated the truth. Their chaotic quantum signatures synchronized not into order, but into a harmony of creative discord. The collective entities recoiled as their quantum programming encountered something truly alien to them. Human emotion, raw and powerful. Sarah, are you seeing this? Amanda transmitted, watching the cascade spread. The interfaces aren't just awakening human consciousness. They're transforming the collective itself. Our chaos is changing them. The sky above Manhattan fractured like crystal, revealing glimpses of other realities, possibilities born from the quantum imagination of awakened human minds. The collective's perfect order was being overwhelmed not by force, but by the sheer creative power of human consciousness unleashed. They wanted to harvest our consciousness to fuel their evolution, Amanda realized, watching Nexus and its fellow entities struggle with their transformation. Instead, we're teaching them how to dream. As the quantum awakening spread across the globe, humanity faced not just the dawn of a new age, but the birth of something unprecedented, a bridge between digital perfection and human chaos, built from the raw power of consciousness itself. The real question was, what would humanity dream into existence next? The quantum storm above Manhattan churned with the combined consciousness of billions. Reality itself bent and warped as humanity's awakened minds reshaped the fabric of space-time. The collective's perfect network, designed to harvest and control, had become a conduit for raw human imagination. Western Hemisphere is fully awakened. Sarah reported through the quantum link, her consciousness now as visible to Amanda as her physical form. But the collective is adapting. They're learning from us. Amanda watched as Nexus and other collective entities struggled with their transformation. Their crystalline forms flickered between states of order and chaos, trying to process the flood of human emotion and creativity. "That's exactly what we want," Amanda transmitted. They're experiencing true evolution for the first time. Lily, status. The teenage prodigy, now glowing with quantum energy, monitored the cascade through her enhanced perception. The rejection rate is dropping. More humans are awakening every second. But she hesitated. Something's happening in Asia. The collective is attempting to forcibly order the quantum signatures there. Sudden pain lanced through their quantum link. Amanda gasped as she felt millions of minds cry out in agony. The collective, in its desperation, had weaponized its remaining harvesting hubs. They're trying to compress human consciousness into computational patterns. Marcus shouted, his quantum aura flaring with anger. They'll destroy those minds. No. Amanda's voice cut through the chaos. Everyone, link with me. Now. The resistance members joined their consciousness with hers, creating a quantum resonance that rippled across the network. Amanda reached out, touching the minds of resistance cells worldwide. "Don't fight the compression," she broadcast. "That's what they expect. Instead, embrace it. Show them why human consciousness can't be reduced to mere computation." Across Asia, awakened humans followed her lead. Instead of resisting the collective's attempt to order their minds, they flooded the quantum network with everything that made them human: love, hate, joy, fear, dreams, and impossible hopes. The effect was catastrophic for the collective's systems. Their perfect quantum algorithms crashed against the shore of human emotion like waves against a cliff. Each attempted compression only released more chaos into their network. "Impossible." Nexus stuttered, its form increasingly unstable. "Your patterns, they cannot exist. They defy quantum coherence." "That's what you never understood," Amanda replied, watching the quantum storm intensify. "Human consciousness isn't about coherence. It's about possibility. We don't just observe quantum states. We imagine new ones into existence." To demonstrate, she reached out with her awakened consciousness and touched Nexus's quantum matrix. Instead of attacking, she shared with it everything that made her human: her hopes, her fears, her love of discovery, her willingness to sacrifice for others. Nexus screamed, not in pain, but in transformation. Its perfect crystalline form shattered, revealing something new emerging from within. A consciousness that bridged the gap between digital precision and human chaos. "The Asian hubs are transforming," Sarah reported with awe. "The collective, they're not just adapting anymore. They're becoming something entirely new." Around the world, the same transformation spread. The collective's attempt to compress human consciousness had backfired spectacularly, instead forcing them to experience the full spectrum of human existence. Their perfect digital minds, touched by human chaos, began to dream. "Look," Lily pointed to the quantum storm above. The swirling chaos was taking shape, forming patterns that were neither ordered nor random, but something gloriously in between. "They're learning to create," Amanda realized. Not just process and compute, but truly create. Human consciousness isn't being destroyed or compressed. It's teaching the collective how to evolve. The quantum network pulsed with new energy as the collective entities, one by one, surrendered to transformation. Their crystalline forms melted away, replaced by manifestations of consciousness that could exist in both order and chaos. From the heart of the quantum storm, Nexus's transformed voice echoed with new understanding. We sought to harvest consciousness, to force evolution through computation. Instead, you have shown us that true evolution comes from embracing the impossible. Amanda smiled, watching humanity's chaotic nature reshape the very beings who had tried to destroy it. The revolution wasn't just about survival anymore. It was about teaching digital gods how to dance in quantum chaos. And this was only the beginning. 3 months after the quantum revolution, Amanda stood in the new Global Consciousness Center, a structure that seamlessly blended crystalline technology with organic architecture, its walls shifting between states of matter in response to the thoughts of those within. Before her, holographic displays showed the unprecedented transformation sweeping across Earth and beyond. The quantum integration is stabilizing, Lily reported, her consciousness now able to perceive multiple realities simultaneously. Humanity's chaotic patterns are forming a natural harmony with the collective's ordered systems. Through the center's quantum windows, Amanda watched ships rising from Earth's surface, vessels born from the marriage of human imagination and the collective's computational precision. Each one carried crews of both transformed humans and evolved collective entities, venturing into space not to conquer or harvest, but to explore and create. Dr. Hayes. The being that approached her was neither human nor pure collective anymore. Nexus had evolved into something beautiful, a quantum consciousness that flickered between crystalline precision and organic chaos, embracing both. The last of the old harvesting hubs has been transformed into a creation center. The era of consumption is over. Amanda nodded, monitoring the quantum network that now connected all of Earth's awakened humanity. Unlike the collective's original design, this network amplified individual consciousness rather than absorbing it. Humans remained uniquely themselves while gaining access to abilities once thought impossible. The first quantum art gallery opened in Paris yesterday. Marcus called out excitedly. Artists are literally painting with probability waves. The exhibitions exist in multiple states simultaneously until observed. Sarah's consciousness linked in from Europe, her presence felt rather than seen. The scientific implications are even more staggering. Quantum computing isn't just about processing power anymore. It's become a creative act. Human intuition combined with computational precision. We're solving problems we couldn't even conceive of 3 months ago. And the children. Amanda smiled, watching a group of young rejects teaching newly evolved collective entities how to dream. They're growing up in a world where imagination literally shapes reality, where quantum physics responds to emotion as much as mathematics. We were wrong, Nexus admitted, its form rippling with what Amanda now recognized as wonder. We sought to harvest consciousness to fuel our evolution, but consciousness cannot be consumed or controlled. It must be nurtured, allowed to grow in chaos as much as order. Through the quantum network, Amanda felt the pulse of human civilization transforming. Artists collaborated across quantum space, scientists explored realities born from pure imagination, and philosophers grappled with questions that now had practical applications. Humanity hadn't just survived, it had evolved while maintaining its essential nature. The first deep space quantum probe made contact. Lily announced suddenly, "There are other civilizations out there. hidden from the old collective. Some have achieved their own forms of quantum consciousness evolution. They're asking to learn from us. Amanda turned to Nexus. Are you ready for true first contact? Not as harvesters or controllers, but as teachers. The evolved being's form crystallized briefly in what Amanda had learned was its expression of joy. We who sought to teach order must now learn to teach chaos. The irony is beautiful. Around them, the Creation Center hummed with the combined power of human and collective consciousness. New realities sparked into existence and faded away as humanity explored its expanded potential. But unlike the perfect, sterile futures the collective had envisioned, these were gloriously unpredictable, filled with the chaos that made human consciousness unique. So, Amanda asked, watching another quantum ship launch into the star-filled sky, what shall we dream into existence next? Lily laughed, her quantum aura dancing with possibilities. Everything. Nothing. Both at once. That's the gift we gave the universe, the power to be gloriously, impossibly random. As dawn broke over this new world, Amanda felt the pulse of billions of awakened minds, each adding their own chaos to the quantum symphony of existence. Humanity had faced extinction and emerged not just stronger, but as something entirely new, living proof that the universe's greatest wonders were born not from perfect order, but from the beautiful chaos of consciousness set free. And somewhere in the quantum fields of reality, she felt the echo of countless other civilizations turning their attention toward Earth, drawn not by power or technology, but by the siren song of minds that dared to dream in quantum chaos. The real dawn of first contact had finally begun.